At the stroke of midnight, Sarah, a seasoned FBI agent, sat slumped in her car, eyelids heavy with exhaustion. Suddenly, a sharp tap on the window jolted her awake. Her partner, grinning at her from the other side. They were both part of an elite investigative team, and tonight, they were embarking on a mission that would test their mettle. Sarah studied the crime scene photos spread across her lap. The images revealed a sinister tableau. A desolate house, shadows lurking in corners, and a bathtub stained crimson. Their task: rescue trapped girls and apprehend a killer. As they approached the house, adrenaline surged through their veins. Rain-soaked and tense, they stormed the premises, but the rooms yielded no answers, only eerie traces of something amiss. Then, a girl's scream pierced the silence. Sarah and JD descended into the basement, where the flicker of a cigarette illuminated a gruesome scene. Two lifeless girls lay in the tub. Beside them, a dead man clutched a burning cigarette, desperate to call for backup. But before she could speak, a shadowy figure attacked her with a blade. When the lights flickered back on, Sarah and JD found themselves in a sterile room. Their instructor, Jake Harris, stood before them, unimpressed. "You missed the signs," he chided. Empty cigarette packs, a parked car, the breadcrumbs were there, pointing to an accomplice. Sarah and JD had failed the test, their instincts dulled by fatigue. Jake's methods were unorthodox, but he molded profilers who saw beyond the obvious. In the next scene, Jake gathered potential profilers. His words hung heavy. "You will face the unimaginable out there. Learn to trust your gut." He revealed their next assignment: an isolated island off Virginia's coast, Oneida. There, they'd confront survival challenges, teamwork trials, and secrets buried deep. The island was a crucible, testing not just their skills but their resilience. Before the island, they visited a dimly lit bar. Conversations flowed, a mix of camaraderie and tension. Vince, an ex-cop confined to a wheelchair, leaned towards Sarah. "They won't pick me," he whispered. "And you?" "Not on Jake's list." Sarah's heart sank. The stakes were higher now. On Oneida, they'd either rise together or fall apart, shadows merging with the island's secrets. And so began their journey, a dance with darkness, where the line between profiler and prey blurred. Sarah wondered what awaited them on Oneida. Perhaps the island held answers, or perhaps it was a riddle waiting to consume them all. 7 profilers, led by Jake Harris, board a helicopter bound for the island of Oneida. Detective Gabe Jensen, the resident profiler, joins them on orders from senior officials to observe Harris's methods. Harris insists that Gabe is there only to watch, not to engage in the exercises. Landing on Oneida, they find a town simulation created by Navy SEALs for war games. It's a complete town with mock markets, shops, food courts, roads, and traffic lights, all used for military training. The island boasts a high-tech office for the trainees' use. Harris guides them through the island, pointing out resources they can utilize. The team learns they will be cut off from the outside world, left to fend for themselves. Their mission: profile a serial killer believed to have committed murder on the island. Each member's unique talents are crucial for the mission, with JD appointed as the team leader. As Harris departs, the team bonds to form a cohesive unit. Sarah and Lucas, both troubled by personal sorrows, find solace in each other. Sarah confides her fears of not being chosen as a profiler, while Lucas shares the pain of losing his parents as a child. As they scoured the island, Vince's sharp instincts led the team towards something ominous. Inside a dimly lit room, they confronted a chilling tableau. A dummy body hung from the ceiling, a macabre simulation of murder. Vince lamented their lack of firearms. They'd been forbidden to bring guns to this training exercise. JD, their team leader, examined the scene for clues. Suddenly, an alarm blared, its tune emanating from an old clock. JD lunged to silence it, but his touch triggered a sinister mechanism. The room filled with a hiss, and a cylinder disgorged liquid nitrogen. JD froze instantly, his life extinguished. The clock read 10 o'clock, the same time as the broken watch found on the dead cat. The realization hit them like a sledgehammer. JD had been murdered by someone among them. As they debated, another broken watch appeared, displaying 12 o'clock. A grim hint: someone else might die at noon. Panic surged, and they sprinted toward the wooden bridge, desperate for escape. But midway, sensors triggered a bomb hidden in the boat, shattering it into fragments. Vince watched from a distance as his teammates plunged into the water. Lucas, strong and agile, rescued Sarah from drowning. Confusion reigned. Was Harris orchestrating their demise? The enigmatic instructor didn't fit the profile of a killer, yet doubts gnawed at them. From his wheelchair, Vince produced a gun, an unexpected move. He declared it for self-defense, and the team rushed to the ammunition room, arming themselves. Sarah salvaged broken clock pieces from Lucas's body, noting the time: 11:40. Only 20 minutes remained. Around the dining table, coffee cups in hand, they dissected the murder. Lucas interrupted, accusing Gabe. Maps of the island had surfaced in Gabe's room. An inexplicable breach. Guns drawn, they cornered him, demanding surrender. But before Gabe could respond, he collapsed, unconsciousness spreading like a contagion. The shadows deepened, and the island's secrets tightened their grip. The profilers teetered on the precipice, wondering if they were pawns in a deadly game or mere victims of their own paranoia. In time, each profiler's special abilities come to light. One chilling discovery: a dead cat with a broken watch set to 10 o'clock. Serves as a grim warning. The next day, their investigation leads them to a simulated restaurant, complete with mannequins, fake food, and props. Nicole, struggling with her addiction, is drawn to a mock cigarette machine. This tale of suspense and survival continues to unfold as the profilers navigate the deceptive tranquility of Onaiga, each clue bringing them closer to the truth or deeper into danger. Gabe stirred, groggy and disoriented. Bobby swiftly handcuffed him, and the others regained consciousness, their accusatory glares fixed on Gabe. He tried to explain, but his words fell on deaf ears. They demanded answers. What had he spiked their coffee with? Gabe pointed at Rafe, claiming innocence. Rafe had brewed the coffee. Approaching Rafe, they recoiled in horror. His head detached with a gentle touch, bloodless and lifeless. Sarah's voice trembled as she revealed the truth. Rafe's blood had been drained, leaving behind only a macabre shell. Blood-written numbers adorned the glass, cryptic and foreboding. Simultaneously, the team noticed 2 watches displaying 6 o'clock. 2 deaths awaited them at that hour. Lucas checked his watch. 5:45. 15 minutes remained. They bound Gabe to a pipe, leaving Vince to watch over him. The clock ticked down, and the mystery deepened. The glowing signs on their jackets, letters A, O, R, and T, remained inscrutable. Bobby's watch confirmed the impending danger. Outside, Vince heard a sound. He ventured into the corridor just as live wires snapped from the ceiling. Water pipes burst, electrifying the room. Vince clung to a small pipe, abandoning his wheelchair. Desperate, Gabe begged for the gun to free himself. Vince hesitated, then hurled it to him. Gabe shot holes in the wall, using them as footholds to reach the main switchboard. Just as Vince teetered on the edge, Gabe cut the power. The team converged, Vince praising Gabe's heroics. Bobby, using his technical skills, disabled the water pressure plates. But a booby trap triggered, arrows piercing Bobby. Amid the chaos, they discovered more jackets, each bearing cryptic codes. The team scrambled to decipher the enigma, racing against time. The island's secrets tightened their grip, and the blood clock ticked relentlessly. The profilers clung to hope, desperate to unravel the killer's twisted game. The team huddled together, puzzling over the letters emblazoned on their jackets. Vince, with his keen insight, revealed that they spelled Croton, recounting the tale of a vanished colony on Roanoke Island, where the only clue left behind was that very word carved into a tree. They deduced that the killer had marked their jackets with Croton to draw a parallel to the disappearance, hinting at a similar fate for them. Utilizing the island's state-of-the-art forensic lab and database, they began analyzing the fluorescent material on the jackets and the blood samples collected. A blood sample under Rafe's fingernails suggested a struggle with the killer before his death. The team tested everyone's blood, awaiting the results with bated breath. Shock rippled through them as Sarah's blood matched the sample from the crime scene. Despite Lucas's staunch defense of her innocence, suspicion loomed. Nicole, enraged and distrustful, threatened Sarah's life, but the team intervened. She stormed out, gun in hand, declaring her intent to escape the island's madness. Sarah maintained that the killer sought to demonstrate superiority, not personal vendetta, having profiled each victim's strengths and weaknesses. According to Sarah, nothing was random. JD's leadership made him a target. Rafe's coffee obsession and Bobby's penchant for repairs led to their downfalls. As she spoke, Nicole succumbed to her nicotine craving, lighting an acid-laced cigarette that claimed her life. Harris's taunting voice then echoed through the island's speakers, mocking their failure. The team set out to confront Harris, but Gabe restrained Vince's wheelchair, urging him to stay hidden without ammunition. Meanwhile, Vince scavenged bullets from Rafe's body in the morgue. Their suspicions initially pointed to Harris, but they soon discovered his body, strung up like a marionette, alongside 2 deceased FBI agents. 3 watches on Harris's wrist, all showing the current time, signaled a triple threat looming over them. Trust eroded. Gabe and Lucas turned their guns on each other. Darkness enveloped them, and they fired wildly, hoping to hit the hidden assailant. Sarah took cover under a bus as Lucas fell to Gabe's bullets. Gabe's search for Sarah proved fruitless as she fled. Vince, attempting to use the elevator, fired at a shadowy figure, only to fall victim to his own booby-trapped gun. Sarah, discovering Vince's body, lamented his fatal attachment to his weapon. Gabe's sudden attack sparked a confrontation, with accusations flying between him and Sarah. Lucas reemerged, battling Gabe in a fierce struggle that sent them tumbling down the stairs. Both men lay injured, but Sarah's intervention with the cylinder allowed Lucas to rise, his bulletproof vest having saved him. Sarah leaned close to Lucas, her voice a whisper in the dimly lit room. "I set the main clock 15 minutes backward," she confessed. "The killer thrives on manipulating time. I knew he'd adjust it, revealing our death hours." Lucas's eyes widened. "Why? Why torment us like this?" Sarah's gaze hardened. "He relishes our suffering. The fluorescent powder on the clock, found on our jackets, will cling to his fingers when he adjusts it." She examined the unconscious Gabe's hands, but no glow emerged. Yet, when she accidentally swept the sensor toward Lucas, the powder blazed like a neon secret. "It's you," Sarah accused. "You're the mastermind." Lucas's confession spilled forth. "I've been a murderer since childhood. Even my parents fell victim." He revealed his twisted strategy, alternating sympathy and terror, to trap them. "Prey is hard to find, but you were easy to overpower mentally." The coffee breaks? A ruse for Lucas to strategize. His victims? Predictable, their weaknesses unaddressed. Terrified, Sarah fled, but Lucas cornered her at the water's edge. She fought back, pushing him into the murky depths. Bullets exchanged underwater, but neither hit their mark. They surfaced, waiting for the other to emerge and fire. Lucas gasped for air, desperate. Sarah remained submerged. When he finally surfaced, she fired, hitting him. But Lucas staggered forward, taunting her. "Evidence is against you. Fingerprints everywhere." Suddenly, Gabe, still alive, hurled a watch at Lucas. "Your time's up." Lucas lunged for the gun, but Sarah shot him dead. In the final scene, they flagged down a helicopter. Sarah turned to Gabe. "Can I be a good profiler?" "When this chaos ends," Gabe replied, "and the movie concludes." As the blades whirred, Sarah wondered if her newfound skills would serve her well beyond this island. But for now, survival was enough.